Welcome to my first K-pop video. This video will be explaining how I think breaking records has been extremely important in fandoms and how it has ruined the vibe of K-pop for me. If you have any opinions, feel free to share them in the comments. This is a safe space for all. Is it just me, or does anyone else feel like a lot of K-pop groups are just breaking so many records? All I hear is the first group to do this, the first group to do that. At this point, it's getting kind of suffocating. But there's just so many, as each new group replaces an old group for a record. We focus on albums producing numbers, when we know a lot of K-pop groups aren't that blessed to achieve these numbers. We constantly shame groups, especially ones who are not from big entertainment companies or younger groups just starting out, comparing them to popular groups knowing we have the upper hand. We base our taste on how much an album sells instead of if we truly like it. From my view, BTS started being the first K-pop act I have heard to break multiple records. This is honestly the first K-pop group I've seen to get recognition from social media. I see a lot of stans boasting about it. At first it was really nice to see these boys accomplishing things as foreigners. I know that's how armies take it, but some of them can use it for damage, as do many other fandoms. The dumbest thing that has ever become popularized in K-pop is fandom wars. I can make a whole other video on why fandom wars do not hurt anybody but the artist. I believe fandom wars started a long time ago. As long as there are artists, their fans will have arguments. K-pop has totally dragged fandom wars. Most of the time it's on Twitter, TikTok, generally social media apps. I am going to explain how record breaking pushes the fandom war agenda. Breaking records could have been so positive. My fave is going somewhere. They are becoming successful. They have worked very hard for this achievement. Let's not butcher this by using it to put down other groups because some random on the internet. Take BTS and Blackpink for example. If they both weren't in the spots they were at, or the success they have, do you think these fans would go at it? If these two groups and more didn't hold the standard they do, there would be no conversation about them. These records that idols break boost fans' egos, probably more than it boosts the idols. It's sad to see someone trying to live life through a stranger. If K-pop idols were on stage yelling out who has the most of something and who paved the way, we would be laughing. It'll look sillier than it does online. We're not cool because BTS is the biggest K-pop act in the world. Or even if Blackpink is the biggest girl group, or twice the nation's girl group. We're not these people, we're paying their bills. It all doesn't make sense why we do more than enjoy the music anyways, because time changes everything. A couple years ago nobody knew about these current groups and other groups were getting called these titles. There was a time when someone else held the record for something, and there will be a time where someone new will in.
This digital media also has helped K-pop grow huge. Social media can cross oceans. We can access people from millions of miles away. YouTube opened more foreigners to K-pop. In second generation, YouTube was really just starting out. But by the third generation YouTube was very big. I don't exactly know when streaming artists' songs became a tradition. I infer once BTS hit the most views in the 24 hours mark. K-pop stans slowly started to come into the streaming world a bit more to achieve that also. But then I remember Blackpink hitting the most views in 24-hour mark. When I tell you BTS's next comeback, armies were racing for them to achieve that spot again. Not saying this is toxic, because I used to participate in streaming culture. It was so much fun, replaying the song over and over just to achieve a goal for people I didn't know. I felt as though I was a part of a community though, that we accomplished something, even though someone else will soon replace BTS's records, or BTS will come out with something new and eventually replace themselves. After my first time streaming a song which was Idol, they had several more. I remember Arianators and Swifties even participating in this race when Ariana beat the 24-hour record with Thank You Next and Taylor with Look What You Made Me Do. My last time streaming was when Dynamite came. Mind you, I had my iPad, computers, and phones all playing this song over and over, even following the rules of watching 2 videos in between and refreshing the page. All a big mess, I know. Then they started getting more fans who took streaming culture so seriously, so I eventually stopped because it didn't feel fun anymore. I say this to say that I was right. Streaming wasn't a fun and innocent little thing anymore. For some reason K-pop stans started taking this record-breaking seriously, and they were getting angered at other fans if their group didn't reach the specific goal. Eventually traveling from YouTube to Spotify, K-pop stans became obsessed with numbers. This can also strike up fan wars, because a normal stan argument would be like, Blackpink sucks. Oh well, you stan Luna, let's compare their YouTube views, Spotify streams, and awards earned to Blackpink then. Then it wouldn't be fair, because obviously the person with the bigger fanbase gets more streams. I don't even care if you have 5 people in your fanbase, if they stream hard enough you can get them views. The smaller the fanbase, the more you have to stream. So K-pop stans usually have a target they wanna hit, and that grows larger as the fanbase grows. Like 1 view counts as watching only 30 seconds of the video. All you have to do is keep watching 30 seconds, maybe thousands of times, and boom, 100K. The tricky thing is, streaming also depends on age. I know that's crazy. The reason an icon like Beyoncé can't get as many views as BTS in 24 hours is because grown adults won't sit on the computer like me to replay her songs all day just so she can top this record. Frankly, fans don't care. Now, some adults do this. Because everyone can. It doesn't matter if you can be 80 and still stream BTS. But most don't. The general public revisits the music the more they like it, and if a song is bad they'll genuinely never listen again. But not K-pop stars. Even if the song is not up to par they will still stream it because they have to collect those numbers. I'm not saying every song that trends is a bad song. Don't hate me for this next part please. This is a fair example. Let's talk about how ITZY's Sneakers has almost 100 M streams, but has to be the most hated songs of this year. It's because they're ITZY. Let's say I was a hardcore midzy that absolutely hated it. Would I still stream it just for these girls I cherish so dearly? Yeah, I obviously still would, because my job as a fan is to get them the highest streams ever. Even if their music hasn't been up to par lately, I have to keep ITZY on top, because they can lose their crown to any of these upcoming girl groups, aespa, STAYC, even New Jeans. It would be so embarrassing as a MITZY for MI to compare the views aespa gets to ITZY. What I'm trying to say here, not that I don't inherently listen to Sneakers on a regular basis. A fandom will stream their idol's music even if they find it bad just to break records. Why would you keep listening to something you don't enjoy? What do we gain from that? The main focus should be the music. It's truly robotic. I'm a general listener now. I only stream things that I like and I can genuinely listen to all the time. Coming to my next point, I truly do think K-pop is in on this. K-pop has tricked its fans into almost everything. It's so slick, pushing out groups to collect streams and awards. If the group doesn't survive on streams and music shows wins, the true fans know they will slowly fade into the basement of their companies, mostly known as the dungeon. Apparently, like I said, K-pop stans fall in love with these idols, and to keep the group alive they have to make it seem like the fandom is well and present. Streaming can be a fun thing, but I see it like attendance in class. These companies want to make sure these fans are still there, because if the group is not making them money anymore, or can't sell like they did at the peak of their fame, they have to go. That's truly so easy now because of course everyone is replaceable. But now these idols are really replaceable, as there are millions of trainees and millions of auditioners around the globe trying to take their spots and wanting to be like them. Companies have taken advantage of this digital media age and have pushed groups out like babies from 2020 till now, especially during the pandemic, where all people did was stay home and stream music. Not saying it's a bad thing, but almost every week Blackpink and BTS have achieved a milestone on one of their recent or old music videos. Even dance practices, people will sit there and stream just to get the views up, and their companies celebrate this. Every 10 million they hit, they will post a celebration for it. We have talked about streaming medias, but let's talk about social medias. Twitter. Every day on Twitter some new group has achieved something new, or has passed someone up or went down in the charts. Chart pages post every second. There is a voting poll on every corner for some weird award. Then in the comments you will finally see the fan wars. Go to a chart page of your idol and scroll down, you will most likely see the words flopped, tanked, or outsold. Very cringy, I know. How does it help you if someone outsold someone? We collectively have to put these Twitter fingers down and go get jobs. I stated before that K-pop stans love to use these groups' achievements to boost their own egos. I also truly hope that nobody is actually feeling some sort of way about a group being more successful than another group. I mean, you have no connection to the group, so I don't see why people really care if an idol is outselling or flopping. That's the company's job to worry about. I mean, you're not earning money off of them. What are the different types of streaming services, and why is it so important to have certain numbers for a comeback? The two main streaming services are YouTube and Spotify. You can also use Apple Music, practically for American fans, but mostly all over the world. You also have other streaming services in Korea. One I know of is VLive, but I'm not going to try to name the rest, because I don't want to get platforms mixed up. Streaming in the K-pop community is known as playing songs, music videos, or albums over and over, so the amount of views and listeners can go up. If they achieve so many viewers or listens in a certain amount of time, an artist can break records. Don't get it confused. More than K-pop does it, but I'm only discussing this fandom because I'm prominently in it. Streaming is so important they even have rules. Raise your volume above 50%. Don't refresh the page. Must watch videos in between for the view to count. Don't stream on multiple tabs. This is mainly for YouTube, but wait, there is more. For Apple Music it's a whole process for streams to count. Also for Spotify you have to make sure you interact with the app, so they think you're not a bot. K-pop fans are really into Legend. Honestly, I think streaming makes K-pop groups seem bigger than what they actually are. You are amazed by how many views they get in such little time when it's just people behind their computers watching it over and over again. A lot of charts actually use not only votes, but also streaming as a way to move artists up. Billboard includes streams in a song or album's charting. Charts like Billboard also play a part in record breaking. If a K-pop artist stays on the chart for a period of time, they will break a record. Even the first K-pop artist to be on the chart was a record. Charts are pretty important to record breaking, but to land on the charts that include streaming. The more reason for K-pop stans to take it so seriously. Record breaking was fun and cute, but as the digital media gets more advanced and fandoms start to grow, and kids get more bored with their lives, the same groups or younger groups are going to break the exact same records, and we're just going to keep pouring numbers. Fans are going to keep refreshing the page for those streams, or keep making emails for those votes, because they want the upper hand. Not genuinely enjoying their faves' music, but using them as puppets in competition. A little disclaimer, streaming isn't inherently bad, but in this fandom we don't have to be arrogant towards each other, because other fans have the potential to stream better. K-pop is still entertainment at the end of the day, and idols are getting paid to entertain. Streaming helps push their goals as artists, and that's what makes modern-day entertainment so great to me. Although a lot of good artists don't get this recognition, because they may not have the money to promote themselves as others do. Let's be mindful of what we say online about other idols' success, especially with the comparing. Other than that, thank you for watching this video.